In the last customer relations video, we talked about how stories are shared by customers and are an important tool when talking about your product or service. Now that we know they are important, how do we get them? I'm going to go through some simple exercises to get you better acquainted with how to capture customer stories. We can capture customer stories in a couple of ways, with the most common being the phone call. Let's look at an example of a typical phone call. Hi, is Sarah Nixon there?
Yeah, this is Sarah.
One of the most important aspects in preparing for a customer call is to do your homework. Educate yourself on the customer and/or their business. Understand the goal for the call. Prepare the right questions. 10 to 15 questions are normal for an in-depth conversation. And have your recorder or laptop ready to take notes. If they aren't willing to talk or don't have the time, it's important to be respectful and thank them for being an Intuit customer. It will happen more often than you think, but try not to get discouraged. Hi, Sarah Nixon. This is Troy Marcyes from Intuit. How are you doing today? Before you start, always remind them why we are having the conversation. I wanted to give you a call. We're actually working on could be for a media opportunity, testimonial, or simple story, but that needs to be communicated beforehand. And we want to make them feel comfortable right away. So start simple with questions introducing themselves and their business. So first off, tell me a little bit more about your business. I saw that you're a cupcake maker in Campbell, California.
Yep. Sarah's Sweets is the name of my shop. I got into it to make people happy, you know? I love seeing folks come into my store and smile. And
remember to sound engaged on the phone with affirmations like yes, and okay. It shows active listening even though you aren't face to face.
A huge opportunity for me to capture all that business that's out there.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. Also, listen for keywords and phrases that might help divulge additional information that can be useful in creating stories. For example, savings, passion, ease of use, experience. These will lead to additional questions you might not have prepared for.
I love that it's easy to use as well, because if it were to take too long, folks might lose interest in the sale. Overall, it's a great experience.
That's awesome. I love how you talked about how easy it was to use. Is that something that's important to you as being a small business owner?
Absolutely. I'm juggling so many different jobs and wearing so many different hats that
when the interview is over, don't forget to thank them for their time and let them know what follow-up conversations or action items will take place.
it makes a world of difference.
That's fantastic. Well, that's all the questions that I had for you. I'd love to type some of these up and send them back to you through email and get your approval so that we can use these for potential press releases or media opportunities. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Get me some more press. Drive more customers through the door. I love it.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, I want to thank you for your time. And if anything comes up, you have my contact information, and I'd love to stay in touch with you.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Thank you. There is nothing like a great phone conversation with the customer. However, what happens if the customer doesn't produce a good story? That's going to happen. If the customer is angry about our product or service, be prepared to forward that on to the proper contact. If the story doesn't have enough substance, you can still use our information later down the road. And at the end of the day, you have a reference, and that is still worth something. By following these simple instructions, you will be able to set yourself up for successful customer interactions. The most important piece of advice I can give you is to practice these methods. Look to your friends. Look to your coworkers. They're always willing to share stories about their product experiences. The power is now in your hands.